welcome back to another guitar lesson. Today we're going to be looking at Dirty Honey, their song When I'm Gone. These guys have been opening for Slash recently, and I didn't get to see them unfortunately when they were here in Calgary. I think they had another show going on somewhere else. But my buddy went to see them in Seattle and said that he'd mentioned them to me and said they're a killer band. So checked them out, and yeah, he's definitely right about that. They're an amazing band. And they're not super well known yet, but they're going to be very soon. Getting right into this song, everything is tuned down a half step. So it's standard tuning, just tuned down a half step. Slash plays that way a lot with Guns N' Roses and with his own band, and now these guys are doing it as well. And so everything just gets tuned down a half step. So getting right into this, you start off with an A power chord. So down, up, and then 3rd fret E string, 2nd fret E string, and then 3rd fret E string, back to A power chord. And then you mute it and you go down, up, down. And then you play the A power chord with an upstroke, and then you play it again with an upstroke. And then the rest of it is alternating. And then this D chord here, you reach your thumb over the top of the neck to play 2nd fret of the E string, and then you play the D chord, you're just not playing the 2nd fret of the E string. So on the bottom of the neck, you're just leaving that quiet. And then G chord, and then back into it. So that's one time. It does that twice for the intro, and then 4 times for the actual verse. And then for the 4th time in the verse, right before it goes to the chorus, when you're at this G chord spot, you're going to play 3rd fret, 2nd fret, and then open E, and get in that E chord position. So you'll play the open E, and then you'll play the rest of the chord. And then G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then quiet. And then you play the A power chord. At this point, you switch to your neck pickup. I forgot to mention that. You start in the bridge pickup just because it's a crunchier sound. At this point, the chorus, you switch the bridge pickup, or neck pickup. So A power chord, and then the G chord. I play the G, the D, and then the G, and then I play the B string and E string together. And then there's that D without the 2nd fret of the E string. Back to G, and then you mute it, downstroke, and then you play it on the upstroke. And then again with the D chord, you mute and then you play. And then back to the A. And then this is like an inverted D chord, so 4th fret of the D string, 2nd fret of the G string, 3rd fret of the B, and an open E. And then a G, and then D. Switch back to that pickup, and then you're back to the intro before the 2nd verse. Except on the 2nd time this time. So after you play, you're going to quickly go right into a whole bend from the 4th fret of the G string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, release, and then play the 2nd fret of the G string. And then it goes into the verse. And then, so the third time through that riff in the verse, instead of, you're going to go, so I'll show you an example of with this, right here. The 3rd time through in the 2nd verse, it's, so what you're doing there is you're just playing 3rd fret of the E string, you're going to do a half bend, and then continue into the riff. And that's only in the 3rd part of that riff in the 2nd verse. And then everything else is the same. And then going into the chorus again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, silence. And then in the silence, I normally switch my pickups. A power chord, D. Sorry, did I mess it up? Yeah, I didn't mess that up. A power chord, G, D, there it is, G, mute, play, mute, and play again, and then A, inverted D chord, G, D, switch your pickups to bridge pickup again, and do a slide down from the 12th fret of the E string, and then E power chord, slide up to 7th fret of the E string, and then play the 7th fret of the A string, and then 7th fret of the E string again, 5th fret of the A string, 7th fret of the E string, 5th fret of the A string, and then quickly to the 7th fret of the A string. And then the second part of this riff, E power chord again, and then slide up to 7th again, 7th on the A string, 7th on the E string, and then 5th on the A string, 7th on the E string, 7th on the A string, 3rd on the E string. And so it goes through, I believe, 3 or 4 times, and then on the last time it's building up. And that last one, you play the E power chord, and then the G, so the 3rd fret of the E string. And then going into the solo, 12th fret E string with your first finger, whole bend from the 15th fret of the E string. And then you go slide down 2 frets, same thing. Slide down 1 fret, same thing. And then slide down 2 frets, same thing. And then 12th fret, you're going to play the B string and the G string together. And then do a little half bend there. And then 14th fret of the D string. 12th fret to 14th fret of the D string. And then 12th fret to 14th fret of the G string. And then 14th fret of the A string. So, and then 12th fret of the G string. And then a little bit of a bend there. And then pull off from 14th fret to 12th fret of the D string. And then 14th fret A string. And then this is like a hammer-on pull-off with your A string at 12th fret. So it sounds like that, but you're doing a little bend. So. And then 15th fret of the E string, 12th fret A string, 12th fret E string, 15th fret E string. So. And then you count 1. So this second part of the solo isn't on the beat. You have to count the first beat, and so 1. So it's a little bit off time there. That might be tricky. If you're having trouble, slow it down with a metronome and make sure you're getting it 1 and then play. So 1. So same thing. You're playing that 15th fret, 12th fret thing, and then you slide down 2 frets. And then you slide down 1 fret, and then this time you bend, and then you release, and then you bend again. And then slide down 2 frets, and bend. And then this time you're going to put your pinky on the 10th fret of the E string. And then bend again. And then you're going to play the 8th fret of the D string. And then 9th fret of the G string. And then now this little lick here, you can play 2 different ways. The way I've been doing it, you bend on the 15th fret of the B string, and while it's already held up there, you play it again. And then you release and you play it when it's released. And then you play 12th fret of the B string, and then 14th fret of the G string, 12th fret of the B string. So it does that 4 times, and on the end you end with a bend on the 15th fret, a whole bend. And then it goes 12th fret B string, 15th fret B string, 12th fret E string, 15th fret E string, and then a whole bend. And then a release and bend again. Now, the other way to do this, which is probably the way he's doing it, I can't say for sure, a bend at the 15th fret of the B string, and instead of holding that, he just plays the 12th fret of the E string, and then 15th fret B string, 12th fret B string, and 14th fret A string, or G string, it is an A, and then 12th fret B string. So it's basically the same thing, it's just you're not holding that bend to play that. And then it goes back into the chorus after that, so switch back to your neck pickup. G, mute play, A, and then inverted D. And now you're playing the G chord, and then you're palm muting 2 strokes. So you're basically palm muting the top 2 strings. And then the D chord without the 2nd fret E string. And then now you go back into the bridge pickup. So this riff is quite fun to do. A power chord, and then it's like you're doing a regular riff. 3rd fret, 2nd fret on E string, and then back to 3rd fret, back to the A power chord, and then you're alternating back and forth between the 3rd fret of the E string and the A power chord. So. This 4th time, you're going to play that D chord with the F sharp on the bottom, or the 2nd fret on the bottom. Your thumb reaches over, and then you go up here for the outro solo. 19th fret, you're going to do a half bend, and then release, and then you're going to go pull off to. So you have your fingers like this. 1st on 15th, 2nd on 17th, 3rd on 19th. And so you basically play the 5th or the 19th fret, you pull off, and then you hammer on, and then you pull off, and then you pull off the 2nd finger, and then you play the 17th fret of the G string. And then you play, so you do that 4 times, and then a whole bend from the 17th fret of the G string, and then you play the 14th fret of the G string, and then 17th fret D string, 14th fret D string, 18th fret A string, 17th fret A string, 16th fret A string, so, and then 14th fret G string, and then 17th fret D string, and then you play 14th fret D string, 16th fret D string, 14th fret G string, and then a whole bend from the 16th fret of the G string, and then this little chromatic section here, it's 14th fret of the B string, 15th fret of the B string, 16th fret, 17th fret. So, and then you do a whole bend, release, and then pull off to, so this is all on 16th fret of the G string, and then you pull off the 14th fret. So bend, release, pull off, and then you play 16th fret of the D string, 14th fret of the G string, back to 16th fret of the D string, and then a whole bend on the 16th fret again of the D string, and then you you slide everything down 2 frets, and then you play the 14th fret of the G string, 12th fret G string, and then pull off from 14th to 12th on the D string, and then play 15th on the A string, and then back up to 12th on the D string, 14th on the D string, and then a half bend on the 15th of the A string, and then a 12th of the A string, and then you come down here to end off the song, 5th fret, 4th fret, and 2nd fret on the D string. You can do a series of, and then you end with a half bend on, half bend on the A string, 2nd fret. So here you can just play around with hammer-ons and pull-offs. What I'm doing there is, so I'm playing 5th fret of the D string, and then 4th fret, and then hammer-on, pull-off, and then I pull off the 2nd fret, and then do the same kind of thing, play the 4th fret, and then play the 2nd fret, and then hammer on, pull off, and then open D, and then 2nd fret, open, and then end it with that bend. So that's how the song goes. Hopefully that helped. I hope I covered everything for you guys. Sorry. Yeah, that song is definitely not an easy one. It will be a challenge. If you're having troubles, definitely slow it down, put a metronome to it. There are apps as well that you can slow down songs with that you have. You can just find them on the App Store, search up Music Slowdown app, and there will be tons that come up. So yeah, and they'll take it right from your music library. You can slow it down, or you can just do it on YouTube now. You can slow it down based on the video you're watching. I figured that out a couple months ago. So yeah, hopefully that helped. If you guys have any more questions, just ask me in the comment section. And if you haven't followed my Instagram account already, go ahead and do that, because I do post a lot on there that I don't post here. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, and stay tuned for the next video. Keep on rocking.